It's the perfect day in Columbus, Ohio to start the 11th season of the U.S. Soccer Boys Development Academy. Mark Serber here with you as we have the U15s playing behind us, and coming up, it's the U18-19 match between Crew SC and Crew SC Academy Wolves. These two teams are affiliates, with the Crew, of course, the Columbus Crew, and then Crew SC Academy Wolves out of Wickham, Michigan, whose players can come over and play with the Crew should they like to bring them over and hopefully bring them onto the first team. The Development Academy in their second week, already in full swing, and we'll have that match for you coming up right after this. But first, we will have a word with Taylor Twellman about thinktaylor.org alongside Recognize to Recover.
Put it on, 3, 1, 2, 3. Put it on.
It's a big occasion for the girls. This has been in the pipeline in the works for so long. We're just so excited to get started, and we've always had a successful program with the girls, and we come here on a weekend, we play our games, and we see the boys in the academy and the competition and the professional environment and stuff, and now to be given the opportunity to be a part of that, we feel very special to be given that opportunity.
It's really exciting because it's a big step for girls soccer, and it's a step in the right direction, so I'm really excited.
I think it's definitely different because we have more training and we know that it's going to be a higher level competition.
I think we've been preparing really hard. Everyone is so excited and motivated to start the new season because you're playing with the best of the best, so I think it really gives everyone that extra excitement, especially with the opening game at home.
Obviously being part of the direct link with US Soccer and adding the additional training sessions and the less games, so the more meaningful games. You know, we have a lot of serious soccer players here, and I think for them it's definitely the direction in which they want to go in. We're very excited to get started, and it's been a long process. I think the one thing that's interesting about the Development Academy is that we don't really know anything about the opposition, and what that's really allowed us to do is just to focus on ourselves and do what we do best. So going into this weekend's game, we don't really know what to expect, but we certainly know what we've been training for and the way we're looking to play this weekend.
Ten years ago, we started to put a lot of time and effort in researching what went into development at the world-class level.
U.S. Soccer thought it was important to provide a platform where the best interests of players were put first, before results, before the team, and now you have an environment that allows players day in, day out in their everyday club environments to be able to reach their full potential.
10 years ago, we only had 16s and 18s. We knew in some regard that that was too late to make the right impact, that we needed to go younger, but this was a group we could manage and we could begin to change the culture. Now we have a complete pathway that starts U12 through U19.
10 years later, I would say unequivocally that we have developed a much larger pool of quality. And that's the best thing that I can look at and say, uncategorically, this is really working.
I think the fact that our youth national teams have done well internationally, the fact that our youth national teams have gotten some historically great results this year and have broken some records, I think that's an indication of all the work that's been done behind the scenes, and in particular all the work that's been done in the Development Academy.
We believe very firmly that we won't have world-class players without world-class coaches, and that environment's created at the club level.
The Development Academy is ensuring the future of U.S. soccer by empowering clubs to be the drivers of world-class player development.
I'm Miriam Hickey. I'm the U.S. Soccer Girls Development Academy Director. I'm here this week at the Boys Development Academy Playoffs and Showcase with the 6 technical advisors on the girls' side that have just been hired.
One of the most important areas is the technical advisor. They're the day-to-day interaction with the clubs. They build the relationships. They're able to have the most influence and to provide insight and education and best practices and to collaborate with clubs in their markets.
Although our girls don't start playing till the fall, it's very important for them to see what a professional environment looks like, as it is something we want to create on the girls' side as well.
When we first built out the girls' TAs, we looked at the major markets where we have player production in certain cities and markets around the country.
We're also setting up training centers, so there's a lot of work ahead of them to set those up.
It was important for us to make sure that we have TAs that are accessible to the clubs, so we want them in these key areas where the clubs exist for the Development Academy.
It's very important that they have a good rapport with the clubs and get to know the player pool, so not one girl gets overlooked when it comes to being able to reach her top.
As we look at the launch of the program on September 2nd of this year, we've built back over a year's time in the steps that we needed to take to make this launch of the program successful.
U.S. Soccer saw a need to start the Girls Development Academy to ensure that the future of the game for girls is bright, not only in the U.S., but also when we compete internationally.
Mark Serber alongside Taylor Twellman. And Taylor, we had a great kickoff last weekend at the Girls DA with the TT Pledge, thinktaylor.org, alongside Recognize to Recover. And now we're here to kick off the Boys DA as well. Just talk about the response coming off of last week.
Well, it's all about the kids, right? I'm trying to get the parents and coaches and everyone out of the way and try to educate and have the kids take ownership of their life, of their body, and in particular their brains. To no surprise, Mark, I've done this for the last 3 years in the state of Massachusetts. The kids are receptive. It's simple. It's easy. It's not hard, but it's also what needs to be done. And I think it's been not surprising to me that the kids have been very receptive. They've been open. They've been creative on social media. And for year one, it's been a real hit.
So at the beginning of last week's DA game, the captains came out and they each took the TT Pledge. And today the captains of both Crew SC Academy and Crew SC Academy Wolves, they're going to come out and do the same thing. What are the next steps for these kids after taking the pledge?
Well, I think ultimately when a concussion happens in the field of play, the goal is not having the parents and coaches having to make those decisions, that the kids help each other. When the kids are educated at a young age, they're going to make the right decisions. My money is on humanity. My money is on these kids educating themselves. Too often when the grown-ups are getting involved, it gets way too complicated. And I think this TT Pledge is going to start opening the doors of being open-minded, but also kids actually having a real conversation on the field of play, like we've seen here in Columbus, where they have a conversation and maybe they say to each other, listen, you got hit in the head, go out, see if you're okay. It's being proactive, not reactive.
And if you're a kid who has a coach who's kind of urging you to continue playing, you just don't feel right, what is the best course of action?
The honesty. If a kid is literally looking at the coach and saying, I don't know if I feel right, that coach is absolutely out of his or her mind if that kid's going to re-enter the game, especially now in 2017 where we know more about it science-wise. So I think that's going to start the movement. But I'm making fun a little bit of the teachers and parents and coaches, but they're being more receptive as well, because I think the kids want real honesty. They want the truth. They don't want to be sugar-coated, and they know after seeing in the media and whatnot what happens with concussion. So I think the movement's growing, and I think it's gaining some real legs.
So the kids have taken the pledge. What can we, as the parents, the teachers, the educators, do to further this on?
Well, I think ultimately it's making it about the kids and making it about the athletes, and I think this goes even further along than just concussions. Too often, I've been sitting here for a little over an hour. Let the kids play. You know, get out of the way. But when it comes to your kid, whether you're a coach or a parent, your kid's health, he or she, that needs to be at the forefront. Keep in mind, if you play smart, right, and you play safe, you're going to play again, and then that's the most important thing.
Well, Taylor Twellman doing a great job with thinktaylor.org alongside Recognize to Recover.
Thanks,
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
welcome to the EAS Training Center in Obitz, Ohio, where Crew SC Academy and Crew SC Academy Wolves are getting set to kick off in the Mid-America division at the U18-19 level. We are getting set for the walkouts, the introductions, and the playing of our national anthem, and we'll be back with you for the kickoff of the 11th season here in the U.S. Soccer Boys Development Academy.
Test. You to the EAS Training Center at Obetz for the first Boys Development Academy game of the 2017-18 season. As we continue to recognize Concussion Awareness Week, today's U18-19 game is between Crew SC Academy from right here in Columbus, Ohio, as they take on Crew SC Academy Wolves from Wixom, Michigan. And now, U.S. Soccer presents Crew... And now, U.S. Soccer presents Crew SC Academy. And now, U.S. Soccer presents Crew SC Academy versus Crew SC Academy Wolves. The referee for today's game is Nate Haggerty. Assistant referees for tonight's game are Matthew Fotia and Austin Schoening. And now your starting 11 for Crew SC Academy Wolves. Number 0, Owen Finnerty. Number 7, Derek Broche. Number 10, Aiden Nam. Number 12, Parker Bendert. Number 17, Seth Chapman. Number 22, Giuliano Daniel. Number 23, Jack Beck. Number 24, Lachlan Hepburn. Number 27, Farai Mutatu. Number 31, Luis Sala. And number 35, Andrew Simon. Crew SC Academy Wolves head coach Scott Duall. And now your starting 11 for Crew SC Academy. Number 0, Logan Kowalczyk. Number 4, Keegan Hughes. Number 6, Sean Zawatsky. Number 8, Luis Bulger. Number 9, Wang Unsuk. Number 10, Colin Buros. Number 19, Max Thiesing. Number 20, Jensen Lukasko. Number 21, Isaiah Parente. Number 25, Abubakar Kieta. And number 33, Jose Rivas. Head coach for Crew SC Academy is Ben Cross. And joining us today are special guests, Jared Miklos and former U.S. men's national teamer and MLS star Taylor Twellman. As we head into the 11th season of the Academy, Miklos continues to provide the strategic vision and oversees operations for the Development Academy program. Twellman, a standout soccer player, became the fast player in MLS history to 100 goals, becoming the Revolution's all-time leading goal scorer. In August of 2008, he saw his career cut short prematurely after suffering from multiple concussions, suffering from PCS. He founded Think Taylor, a foundation driven and dedicated to changing the culture in the world of concussions. The Academy also recognizes the importance of concussion awareness and is taking the pledge to be educated on the signs and symptoms of concussions. We have only one brain, and it needs to last a lifetime. And now the captain, Farai Mutatu from Crew SC Academy Wolves, will take the pledge, followed by Captain Jensen Lukasko from Crew SC Academy.
We have only one brain, and it needs to last a lifetime. I pledge to be educated on the signs and symptoms of concussions. I pledge to be honest with my coaches, teachers, parents, and teammates. I pledge to be supportive of anyone who gets a concussion. At Wolves, we took the pledge.
We have only one brain, and it needs to last a lifetime. I pledge to be educated on the signs and symptoms of concussions. I pledge to be honest with my coaches, teachers, parents, and teammates. I pledge to be supportive of anyone who gets a concussion. At Columbus Crew SC, we took the pledge.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you, and good luck to both teams.
The 11th season of the U.S. Soccer Boys Development Academy well and truly underway here for Wolves out of Wickham, Michigan. It is their first game of the 2017-2018 season. Well, for the men in yellow, the Columbus Crew, it is their second game of the season. They are coming off a 1-1 draw last week against the Indiana Fire. The first of two meetings between these teams here in the Mid-America Division. They will meet again on what will be the final game of the season for Crew SC Academy Wolves and the second to last game for Crew SC Academy as we are getting set here in Obitz. The second picture of the season for this Columbus Crew side, looking for their first win of the year under head coach Ben Cross. Well, for their affiliates out of Michigan, getting ready for their first game of the year, and both teams have already taken the Taylor Twellman pledge. Use that hashtag TTPledge and thinktaylor.org, as he has done an excellent job in creating his foundation, which is working with U.S. Soccer's Recognize to Recover to see the signs and make sure that players go through the proper protocol with head injuries. Taylor Twellman, of course, former New England Revolution and U.S. men's national team player and now analyst at ESPN, has done such an excellent job with thinktaylor.org, and we hope that everybody takes the TT pledge just as they have across both the girls and the boys U.S. Soccer Development Academies. Is this a new age group here for Scott Dahl and his men, as well as this Crew SC side? It's the U18-19s. Many of these players, though, from both teams have actually moved up from playing at the 15-16 level last year. So a big initiative in the academy. If you can, you're good enough, make sure you play up. It's the captains, Jensen Lukasku for Crew SC and Farai Matatu for Wolves, going through the coin toss and the final handshakes. So we are getting set for the first 45 minutes between the Columbus Crew and Crew Academy SC Wolves. And the first boys feature game of the season. Plenty of national team talent for both of these teams, as well as players who are going to play on in college, and plenty of these players as well have trained with the Crew's first team. 11 players over the last year in the Columbus Crew Academy have trained with the first team. 6 of them will be out here today with the 18-19s, and in fact, 4 of them, including the number 8, Louis Bolger, played with them in preseason. Bolger was the only one who actually appeared for the first team in a match during preseason. But for Wolves, just like the Crew, it's a chance for both of these players to go on and make their claim here in the Development Academy that they can make their way onto the Columbus Crew first team. And the Crew have signed 11 homegrown players throughout their history. 5 have appeared in Major League Soccer regular season matches, and in fact, over the last 3 seasons for the Columbus Crew, all but one match day roster has had a homegrown player on it. So the goal the same, whether you're from Michigan or right here in Columbus.
Like for the goals, like when I come back here.
But for now, it is all about getting 3 points. It will be the Wolves in all black with yellow trim kicking off, attacking to your right. Of the Columbus Crew in their traditional all yellow with black trim home jerseys will be attacking to your left. Because on the field just behind us, the first team trained earlier this morning. They'll be playing tomorrow on ESPN against Sporting Kansas City. But Greg Berhalter is out here, and it's a chance for these 18-19s to impress as we are underway in Obitz, Ohio. And out of bounds it goes off the kickoff. It'll be the Crew's ball. This throw-in to be taken by Maxwell Thiesing in his 3rd year in the Development Academy with the Crew. And this is the captain, Jensen Lukasku. Lukasku, one of 3 players who since the age of 14 has come all the way from Cleveland for every single training session and game. That's 2 hours each way, 4 to 6 times a week. And just think about the commitment and the desire in terms of working toward a goal. For Lukasku and company, it's worked out very well. He's committed to Bowling Green as it's Wolves building their first attack through Mutatu. And the captain dispossessed, and there's Lukasku. Seth Chapman able to turn it out of trouble and plays it down the line. Chapman, a center back, was with the 15-16s for the playoffs for Wolves last season, but played up with the 17s. This is a center back alongside Andrew Simon for a Wolves side that last year in their 15-16 level was tied with last year's finalist, FC Dallas, for the best defense at the 15-16s, and then their defense at the 17-18 level was actually the fourth best defense in the academy, giving up just 26 goals. So both teams are looking to make their way back into the playoffs. And this is Facing. Thiesing trying to make his way in. Was well shielded off, but the offside flag is up. It was good defending from Wolves, but they'll get the benefit of the free kick. It's a great job by Adam Nam coming back from his forward position, helping out Parker Bender along this right-hand side. And now they look to build through Chapman. Third minute. No chances to speak of yet. First game of the season for Wolves. Second game of the season for Crew, coming off a 1-1 draw with the Indiana Fire. Gave up a goal after just 7 minutes on a counterattack, as that's a heavy challenge. Good job by referee Nate Haggerty, not going to his book just yet, but just calling for calm. As Derek Broche gets a bit of a talking to. And Lukasko will leave it off for Boubacar Keita. U17 International leaves it off to his center back partner. This is a Crew side that loves to build it out of the back. Ben Cross and his side work under the directive of his first team of moving the ball from side to side, looking to disorient the attack, or the defenders rather, and then get in behind. Just took a look at that foul, and pretty heavy, but no malicious intent. Keita, Thiesing, looking to get forward at every opportunity. So that's another hallmark of this Crew side. Not only do they like to move the ball from flank to flank as quickly as they can, try and spread out the defense and look for ways to get in behind, but you'll notice that their fullbacks will push very high up, and their center backs will spread out. The number 6 will come into the middle to hold that spot as they look to build out of the back. But they like to make their fullbacks a focal point of the attack. Finnerty will get it back from Simon. Finnerty, in his second year with the DAs, has moved up from the 16-17 age group. A good job for Wolves, just keeping the ball while Crew's keeping their shape. Oh, Nam almost got on the end of that, but it's Crew going the other way. One right back. This is Beck. Mutatu. He's committed to Michigan State. Was born in Zimbabwe. The U.S. has tried to call him in on several occasions, but he hasn't been able to participate because he's not a U.S. citizen. And in fact, Mutatu hasn't seen his parents since 2014, as they had to go back because of visa issues to Zimbabwe. But he says he speaks to them at least once a week, and they are a huge source of his strength, as Mutatu, a player with a very bright future, in fact, came on loan to the Crew to play in the GA Cup last year. Parente was scorer of that lone goal in the 1-1 tie with the Indiana Fire. And Parente coming off a season in which he was a Central Conference best 11 for the 15-16s. Ranked first in the Ortex stats for the 2016-2017 season, Isaiah Parente. And he's committed to Wake Forest, so many of these players going to play their college balls at real powerhouses. This is a good ball slid through. And this is Derek Broche. And Broche couldn't find Mutatu on the inside. And Mutatu receives it on the chest, kills it instantly, turning full of intent. It was waiting for the run down the line. Instead, elects to slide it in as Broche is dispossessed by Keita. And Thiesing in a battle with Nam. Leaves it off for Lukasku. Intercepted by Perkins. And Perkins lost the ball, now trying to win it back. Both teams at the moment just fighting to get a sense of possession as they're coming under heavy pressure. And Simon heeding the pleas of his coach, Scott Dahl, just asking him to please relax as they look to work it through the middle. This is Hepburn. Long searching ball. It's asking a lot of Nam. He almost got there, and Thiesing had to sweep it clear. So it'll be a throw-in for Wolves high in the Crew's area. Perkins, another player who was loaned to the Crew last year to play in the GA Cup. Lutatu. Nam with the cross to the back post. It was just too tall for Broche, who was lurking. And the foul on the far side on Jack Beck. So it'll be a free kick instead of a throw-in for Crew SC. And quickly into Lukasku, who's seeing a lot of the ball inside these first 8 minutes. Thiesing. He's been getting forward, as we said, the outside backs would for Crew. Difference is that the ball has come to him almost every single time, rather than Bolger on the far side. Now they might look to find him, as this is Jose Rivas. Oh, and give it away to Broche. Spots the keeper off his line, and it wasn't a bad idea. Broche, the leading scorer for the 15-16s last season, had 11 goals, almost getting his first one there. And the Crew back line breathe a sigh of relief. Now the first real chance to note, it almost came off a giveaway in the back from the Columbus Crew. Bendert intercepts. Rivas checks in his first season with the Crew. He joined from Weston FC in his native Florida. Rivas has been called into U17 national team camps. Thiesing. And this is Keita. Second season in the DA with the Columbus Crew for Keita. Was spotted playing high school ball here in Columbus, as that's a great turn and a well-run free kick. And you see the skill from Isaiah Parente there. Parente not at all happy with that challenge from Hepburn. Keita, in 18 months, was spotted playing high school ball. Let's get back to that in a second. Just look at this for a piece of skill from Parente. The Cruyff and the turn. Hepburn really with no other option to bring him down to quell that counterattack. Getting back to Keita, 18 months. Went from just playing high school ball in Columbus to joining the academy to being switched from an outside back to a center back to getting a U17 national team call-up. Told me yesterday it was a dream come true for him. Lukasku plays it quickly with Parente. Finds it back at his feet. And this is Abubakar Keita. Moved from Guinea at the age of 10 to the U.S. and now U.S. Youth International. Beck trying to build down the far side, but it's won back by Crew. Keita gets it back to his keeper. Kowalczyk plays it forward. Kowalczyk would have lined up on the other side of this fixture last year. He joined from Wolves after a solid season in which he helped anchor one of the best defenses at the 15-16 level and played on loan with the Crew in the GA Cup last year. And now with the Crew, hoping to work his way through the system up to the first team. For many of these players, the 15-16 levels for Wolves last year, they were just one game away from making it to the quarterfinals, went into the last day of the playoffs, needing a win against the reigning champions at that time, FC Dallas. FC Dallas only needed a tie, and they were able to hang on for a 0-0 draw to advance. So just a couple points away from making it into the last 8 last year against the team that ended up going to the finals for the 3rd straight season before losing to Atlanta United. Just goes to show the great work done by technical director Lars Richter and head coach of this 18-19, Scott Dahl. Dahl actually grew up playing for Wolves, where he won 2 state titles and was a finalist in 2 regional tournaments as well, and then has been coaching at the club since 2007. As that's a good ball in. Wolves able to clear it away. Biros wanted it. Thiesing takes the inside route, and in the end will give it back to Keita. Keita slides it inside for Biros. Mitch touch from him. And Biros frustrated with himself as this one rolls all the way through to Finnerty. Simon will get it back to his keeper. 14th minute, no score in this match between Crew SC and Crew SC Academy Wolves. '20-game regular season here in the Mid-America Division. Of course, the winter and spring showcases and summer showcase as well will be mixed into that. And then hopefully the playoffs for both of these sides. Parente checked in, but instead it will go back to Kowalczyk. Kowalczyk, another one of these Crew players who's been called into the U.S. Youth National Team camps. They're trying to play out of the back. Could get him into trouble here. A great job to wriggle his way free. Good work by Sean Zawadzki. Did get himself into trouble, but was able to get himself out of it. Then a get out of jail free card from the whistle of that man, Nate Haggerty. Parente. Zero Zawadzki was dispossessed, won it back. Able to split that double team. You could see him being held up. Another player who's trained with the first team for the Crew. Zawadzki, like so many of these players, has a lot of suitors in the NCAAs. That is a very heavy challenge. Wouldn't be surprised to see our first card of the game, and it goes against the captain, Fure Mutatu. And Mutatu knew it right away. Good sportsmanship from him. You can see why he wears the captain's armband. But he is the first players in the referee's book in the 16th minute. Keita will have to track back, and here comes the press from Wolves. And safety first from Keita as he just smashes it downfield over the head of Thiesing, and it's going to be a throw-in for Parker Bendert. Let's see, just thought he could get the ball, and Zawadzki able to get it away quickly. Nam heads it forward for Mutatu. Tatu tried to find Beck on the far side. Bender will bring it down. What a touch that is from Nam. And it's Sefsov Matatu one-on-one with Abubakar Keita into the center. And it was a great idea looking for the return ball, but the offside flag would have gone up. And so Nam lets it go. Nam and Brosh are both committed to the University of Michigan. Certainly have to have a friendly rivalry with the likes of Jack Beck, who's going to Michigan State along with Matatu. Keita. Space for Lukasco to turn. And just unable to get it inside to Parente. This is Parente. Biros. Finds Thiesing. Has space to set the table. It's a good ball in. It skips all the way through. Falls for Biros. Good first touch to set himself up, and that was a great ball. Very deceptive, driven toward the back post, and all it would have required was a touch, but it is the first corner kick of the game, and it goes the way of the home side. He sat like he was going to shoot Biros, and at the last second just turned his hips and driven across, and if there was a Crew player making that diagonal run, it would be 1-0 on the scoreboard rather than in the corner kicks category. It might be here. It's the first goal of the game, and it goes for the Columbus Crew. Keegan Hughes, the center back, getting forward on the set piece. And the Crew are in the lead.
Crew SC Academy goal. Scored in the 19th minute by number 4, Keegan Hughes.
Perfect corner kick, and Hughes unmarked, but he still had it all to do. Great direction on the headers. He just flicked it to the back post. Finnerty left for dead. And it's Crew who are in the ascendancy. 19th minute, 1-0 to the home side. Bendert. Thiesing with a heavy challenge, but a fair one, says the referee. And it's Crew to go the other way through Parenta. Dispossessed. Good hold-up play from Brosh. This is Giuliano Daniel. Beck gets back for Hepburn. Bit of a heavy touch from him, and Parente overtakes. And that pass just lacking the angle, and good shielding from Abubakar Keita on Foray Matatu, and it will be a goal kick for the Crew. Loves the idea. That ball needed just a bit more weight on it. Needed to be played a bit narrower. It's another look at this goal, and you have to ask where the marking was. But a great job from Hughes. Knew there was enough pace on that ball, and all he had to do was redirect it. And he did it so well. Thiesing. His cross is blocked by Bendert. Nam. Stepping in is Zawadski. Parente. Cheeky little back heel. Good patience from Biros, realizing there's nothing to go forward. 21st minute, Crew looking to add to their 1-0 lead, courtesy of their center back, Keegan Hughes. Rivas. Thiesing with the cross come shot. And we'll go over the crossbar for a goal kick for Wolves, who've been playing well. Thiesing was shaping up to cross that ball and just didn't get his foot around it the way he wanted. You could see his frustration, even though it did concern Finnerty quite a bit, until he realized it wasn't going to drop in time. Beck will bring it down. This is Daniel. Daniel's committed to Air Force. At the end of last season, was playing as the center defensive midfielder in place of the injured Mark Fisher. And here's Daniel getting forward. That was a good effort, but in the end, it's going to go out for a goal kick. And the referee has overruled his assistant, saying that it's in fact a corner. Now it's been changed as the referee looked over and saw his assistant did have the flag pointed toward the 6. Getting back to Daniel at the 15-16 level, as that is an excellent touch from Lukasku, and it might be the start of something here for Crew. Lukasku. Oh, lovely ball over the top, but the offside flag goes up. Nice save from Finnerty. Well, that all started with a great touch from Lukasku. Then he got the ball back and a perfectly weighted chip over the top, and Jose Rivas left the starting gates just a split second too soon. Still, Finnerty should get credit, at least in jest, for that save, as he got down well. Won't get it in the stats column. Lovely ball sprayed out wide from Isaiah Parente. Two players making their way into the box. The early cross comes in, and it's over the head of Wang. Does well to bring it down, though. Has Thiesing in support. Gets back for Biros. Inside for Wang. South Korean dispossessed. And now Beck, who's come over to this near side, looking to go forward for Wolves. And he did a good job to try and cut it back and hold it up. Thiesing making the recovery run. Got a foot stuck in, and it'll be a throw-in for Wolves. Biros. Rivas holds his run this time. Has only Wang to find in the center. And the double team coming in from Daniel. Oh, it's another good cross from the fullback getting forward. And the shot from Lukasku. Well, off the mark in the end, but another good build-up from the Columbus Crew, who have really grown into this game and have the 1-0 lead, courtesy of an 18th-minute header from their center back, Keegan Hughes. So Lukasku stepping into that one, just dragging it wide in the end. He certainly had the space to hit it. Parente. Smartly headed back. Sawadsky. Lukasku. Biros tried to thread it through. Great defending from Keita. Did a great job not to allow Broche to get inside of him. And this time it is the first corner kick of the game for Wolves. And it's Jack Beck who's coming over to take. Four players in the box for Wolves, a further two getting set to crash. Beck's in-swinger is low and doesn't beat the first defender. Clearance comes right back to him, though. And Crew able to get it away at the second time of asking. Simon. Broche has a hit. It wasn't far off. Question is, did it take a deflection on the way? The referee's assistant says yes. Second corner kick for Wolves. Broche had 8 goals last season at the 15-16 level. Almost opened up his account here at the 18-19 age group. And Broche was a good turn. The defense was backing off, inviting him to shoot. And if Kowalczyk got a touch, that's a great save. Just wasn't sure whether it was deflection on the way or Kowalczyk pushing it around his post. And Beck's going to have to do better with the service this second time around. First one didn't beat the first defender. Same setup. 4 in the box, 2 at the top of the box for Wolves. Mutatu all alone at the back post. Just couldn't get his header on goal. And good work from the captain right away, getting his players in position as they continue this high press against a Crew side who, no matter what they're facing, is always going to look to build out of the back. Let's take a look at this corner, and this time, instead of going low, Beck goes high into the far post, and Mutatu was on the prowl. Just didn't get the direction that he needed. Frustration for Mutatu. A great run down the far side by Louis Bolger. And it leads to a throw-in for the Crew. Rivas will leave this off for Bolger and quickly get it back from him. He can't find the return ball. Lukasku is imposing himself on this game again. Rivas sends it in. Parente is there. Still might fall for Parente. Leaves it off for Brios. Oh, lovely ball slipped inside for Parente. He can't pull the trigger. And Mutatu did a good job to come back and win that ball for the Wolves. But then Beck couldn't bring it out, and he's whistled for the foul. So another chance to send this ball into the danger area from the free kick for the Crew. They got their first goal from a set piece. And Keegan Hughes is coming up from a center back position again. Swing beautifully touched on, and Rivas picked his head up, saw time for the cross. Parente, it's a good ball. Keeper comes out, had to get there, and he did. Brush didn't realize he had no one forward. Tried to hold it up. One back by the Crew. Offside flag stays down. Wang pulls it back, but there were no takers. And Parente, well placed, maybe just a bit too deep. And Finnerty made the decision to come out, had to get there, and he did. Decisive punch clear. As that one clipped out of bounds by Seth Chapman, so it'll be a throw-in for Wolves. Bolger gets it into Wang. The number 9 playing in the 9 position. And he wins another throw-in. On the half-hour mark in Columbus. And it's the home side with a 1-0 lead, courtesy of an 18th-minute header from a corner kick by Keegan Hughes. And the Crew are looking for more. Missed touch from Thiesing under the heavy pressure from Jack Beck. And now it's the Wolves' turn to try and chisel their way down this flank. Lukasku. And Keita will guide it back to his keeper, Kowalczyk, who's facing his former club. Hughes finds his keeper. We talked about the center backs getting wide, and then the number 6, which is the number 6, Sean Jawotsky, coming in and finding that ball in the middle. So Rivas is in a foot race, but Finnerty comes out, and he'll pick it up at the top of his penalty area. Neatly brought down on the chest by Brush. Matatu played it forward, looking for the run of Beck. Lukasco. Bulger slides it down the line for Rivas. Has Wing ahead of him. Two more players flying into the attack. Rivas takes it himself and very nearly found the far corner. It was great work from Rivas. Had the ball, looked like he wanted to drive, held it up just a bit, waiting for more runs. And when those two players came flying through the middle, the defense backed off. Rivas took the space and set himself up nicely for the shot. And just couldn't find the curler to the far post, which is something that the Crew worked on in training yesterday. Players cutting inside and curling the ball toward the far post. Saw some beauties in training yesterday. Just didn't come off here for Rivas, but certainly had that session in mind as he cut inside. A bit of a heavy touch, and the ball will go back to the home side. Thiesing's been getting forward to good effect. Finds Wing on the throw-in. Quickly closed down by 3 black and gold jerseys. Good touch from Lukasco. Andrew Simon. In for Beck, looking for the flick on. And Thiesing had the body position on Nam. Keita almost putting Kowalczyk in an awkward situation, but he dealt with it well. Bendert nods it forward, and Thiesing will let it roll out once again. Keita's looking for the one of Rivas, and prodded away by Chapman. Daniel on the far side. Bulger was getting forward. He's going to have to get back now. Zawadzki wins it back for Crew, so Bulger can stay up, and he's on the ball again. Ball given away. Mutatu is in some space. 1-on-1 against Keita. Mutatu gets a step on him. Keita recovers well. It's at the expense of a corner, but it certainly beats the alternative. And it's the 3rd corner kick of the game for the Michigan side. Well, they almost scored on their last one. What can they do here? Beck has Salas short, but I don't think he's going to use him. Certainly didn't in the first 2. Drives this one to the near post, and he'll get another opportunity. And so Broch has come over, and he'll do the honors. Well dealt with by the Crew defense. And Keita unable to save it on the far side. So the Wolves will keep possession in the 36th minute. Nam. Love the way the top 3 for Wolves interchange positions as they win their 5th corner kick of the game. Nam started out on this near side. Now he's working his way on the far side. Well, Beck is over on the near side now. Wants this ball, which is going to be a free kick on the far post rather than a corner. So handball was called. Daniels made his way into the channel. It's a great ball through. Kowalczyk smothers it. Excellent run from Giuliano Daniel from his left back position. It was a good ball, and all it needed was a touch. There were nobody who was able to get a foot on it in a Wolves jersey. And Kowalczyk did a great job not to give up a rebound. Daniel has taken this throw and was with the 15-16s last season. As Matatu played it in the center, but nobody knocking at the door for Wolves, and Crew able to get it clear. There's that run from Daniel. And it was good pace and direction on it, and stretching was Broch, just couldn't get it. And Kowalczyk, a happy recipient of Broch's miss. This is the second of 3 home games for the Crew to start the season. We'll be right back here next Saturday against the Chicago Fire. Then have 4 games on the road starting September 23rd in Michigan against Vardar. In fact, 6 of their next 7 games after next weekend will be on the road. So tough schedule for Columbus coming up. Biros, it's another great ball to the back post, and this time it pays dividends. It's 2-0 Crew. Isaiah Perenne with his second goal of the season. But it was all set up by the vision of Biros. Crew defense at the moment a bit befuddled, but any defense would have been befuddled by that ball from Colin Biros. And Isaiah Parente stealing in at the back post to tap home his second goal in as many games. As Biros cut back and then played that ball beautifully behind the back line. And Parente got by his man and beat the keeper to it. And the Crew have a 2-0 lead in the 40th minute. Just another look. Started going one-way turn, and a perfectly weighted ball behind the back line, but far enough away that the keeper couldn't get to it. And Parente got into the space. He's so good at drifting in and out of positions, Isaiah Parente. And you see there why he's a Central Conference best 11 last season. 2 players that trained with the first team before may very well be on Greg Berhalter's mind again, especially after that combination. As Wang wins the free kick. And it's the goal scorer, Parente, who's over it. Inside the final 5 minutes of first half regulation. There's a good cut from Wang to get by Simon, who chopped him down. And Parente. And coming out again. Not as decisively this time. Rivas almost took advantage off the line, and now the flag is up. And it was another good save from Finnerty. That's the second save that he's not going to get credit for because the offside flag is up, but it's still one for the highlight reels. And Parente's ball, though, certainly asking questions of Finnerty whether he should come or not. It was a split second too late this time, but was able to get away with it. He was bailed out first by his defense and then by the offside flag. Another thrown for Thiesing. Oh, good skill from Harai Mutatu, but he just ran out of real estate. Oh, the Crew bench wanted a foul. They're not going to get it. And Beck will get it back to Simon. Cross for Chapman. Good pressure from Parente. Forces Chapman to go back with it. Finnerty looks like he wants to go long. And Broche did well to win the flick on, but there was nobody running through. Hughes will get it back to his keeper. Still might work out for Kowalczyk, even though that wasn't the ball he wanted to play forward. One back by Sala. Hepburn. Beck tried to sneak it through. Kept in by Bender. Receives the return ball from Beck. Bender puts it across just over Broche. He does well to bring it down. And Nam thought Daniel was continuing his run on the far side. And he had held up, so instead it will go out for a goal kick. Wolves are playing without Mark Fisher, who's still recovering from an ACL injury that forced him to miss the playoffs last season. Hoping he gets back in time to feature this year. And everybody at the U.S. Soccer Development Academy wishing him a speedy recovery. Rivas bombing down the far side. Leaves it off for Bolger, but getting there first is Nam, and he'll tap it out of bounds. Zawadzki steps into the attack, plays it through for Biros. Bender gets there first, but it's right to Wang, who smashes home the third goal for the Crew. A great team spirit and unity from this Crew side. It was Biros who was involved again. And Wang Un-suk saw the ball fall to him. So many players would have been surprised to see it. He was calm, cool, and collected. One touch to set himself up, and another touch to slam home the third goal of the game for Crew. Is Bender able to get there, but played it right into the path of Wang. And a great touch to take himself away from Bender and set himself up for that shot. It's been an excellent half for the Columbus Crew. Head coach Ben Cross told me they had a great first half against the Indiana Fire, but they weren't able to put their chances away, and that's why that game ended 1-1. Well, they've certainly done the business here in the first half. So we are heading towards first half stoppage time, and it has been all Columbus Crew. 3 goals, 3 clinical finishes, and even better, one from each member of each of their lines. Hughes, the defender, scoring the first. Second one by midfielder in Parente. And the third by their number 9 in Wang. In a first half stoppage time. Is there enough of it for Wolves to pull one back before the break? Or perhaps for the Crew to spring a break here? Wang, well, he split the center backs. Slides it through for Rivas. It's Rivas. On to his left, still Rivas. Rivas blocked, and it will be a corner kick in the end. Oh, Biros wanted it, but Rivas only had one thought on his mind. Showed good patience at the beginning and perhaps needed to have a bit more urgency in that last step, allowing the defense to get back and set up in front of him. Instead, it's going to be the second corner kick for the Crew. I was looking for the flick on at the near post. And no chance for the third corner kick for the Crew as the halftime whistle goes, but they do have a 3-0 lead. Goals coming from Keegan Hughes in the 18th minute, Isaiah Parente in the 40th, and then Wang Un-suk in the 43rd. And the Crews all smile at the moment as we head into the halftime break. But still plenty to come here on the U.S. Soccer Development Academy Facebook page. Stay with us at halftime as we will take a look back at the launch of the Girls Development Academy, and we will also have an interview with the Development Academy Director, Jared Miklos. So plenty more to come. At the half, it is the Columbus Crew 3, the Crew SC Academy Wolves 0. 45 minutes down, 45 minutes to go. Stay with us. Ohio, where it's 3-0 Columbus Crew over Wolves at the U18-19 level, the Development Academy, as we're joined by Development Academy Director Jared Miklos. And Jared, first of all, we just want to know, what was the motivation for U.S. Soccer and the Development Academy to create Concussion Awareness Week?
Yeah, we think this is a really important initiative, especially for our players, to help young players learn about concussion and head injuries and help educate them. And really, that's one of our main goals in the academy is education. Whether it's for our coaches or for our players, it's creating this awareness to it. And through the awareness, we can teach them about some of the significant issues that may come if they have head injuries, so they can communicate that and we can help them.
And last week we were together for the launch of the Girls Academy and Think Taylor Week at PDA in New Jersey. How do you see the boys and the girls academies working together?
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity. It's the first opportunity we've had live since the season kicked off last week to have two programs doing the same thing. And really, we see the academy as a program that's completely aligned. It's one program. It's not two separate. The boys and girls may have different clubs and different schedules, but the initiatives of what we're doing, the goals of what we're doing to try to improve player development and create these environments for players so they can have a pathway to their end goal, whatever that may be, whether it's the college level, the professional level, et cetera, et cetera. We've got to have a program that's rooted in player development and the best interest of the individual.
We're here with Development Academy Director Jared Miklos, and the Academy enters the 11th season for the boys and the first season for the girls. I mean, how has this Academy grown?
Yeah, incredible growth in terms of numbers, but it's a lot more than just the numbers. I mean, we're going to have 17,000 combined players between boys and girls this year, and we had 5,000 players 3 years ago. So what we've done is, on the boys' side, we've really taken it from the oldest levels, the U19, all the way down into U12 to try to create that connection. On the girls' side, we've launched the program this year with a lot of the learning lessons that we've had from the 10 years in the past. So I think collectively as a group, we're taking everyone's knowledge and everyone's experience, and we're able to put that together, and we're learning things as we start the girls that we think will help us with the boys. So for us, the growth is not just in numbers, but it's about quality, it's about development of players, and it's how can we make this better year after year.
And this is a unique opportunity for these players. What is the significance of playing in these academy feature games?
Yeah, it's a special environment. It's great to be able to come out here and for these players on a weekly game to be able to have a backdrop like this and to have the amount of people watching that are, and to be able to show the academy product nationwide. So there's people in other academies watching, there's people outside the academy and fans and parents and et cetera. And for us, it's another one of these opportunities to put the academy brand on display so that people can see what is it we're trying to do, the style of play, the level of play that you have in the academy. And really, for the players that are out here today, it's a really unique and special opportunity for them to be on the field in this type of setting and help them with what they might see at the next level.
And we're 45 minutes through here. What were your thoughts on this first half?
Yeah, I mean, a neat opportunity to see two teams that are affiliated. So, a distance away between two states, but really interesting battle and one that they know well, and you could see there's a lot of energy in it, and the players are excited.
And one thing that I've known in talking with both of these coaches is that because of the affiliation, their clubs very strong. The Wolves coaching staff had come down to a Crew game against FC Dallas, and then after they got to meet Greg Berhalter and speak with him, and a lot of the ideas that they're sharing back and forth. What other things do they have in these affiliations that will help both academies?
Yeah, big picture, that's what it's about. It's about connection. Every player's got a little bit different path. If a player wants a professional opportunity and they're in Michigan, now they've got it because they have someone who knows it and they can help them pass them along. And when you have these affiliations, you've got communication. And really, if you've got leaders from different clubs talking, then we've got the players' best interests at hand. We've got the clubs working together, and that's really what it's going to take for our landscape to get better overall.
Yeah, and the coaches have said it's been great for their education as well to share those ideas.
Yeah, best practices for everybody.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for all the great work you've done to set great events up like this, and we hope you enjoy the second half.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you. At halftime, it is Columbus Crew 3, Wolves 0. We'll have the final 45 minutes coming for you right after this.
The U.S. Soccer Girls Development Academy is here.
It's here.
Here.
The next generation of world-class players.
World-class players.
Elite competition.
Pride in your club.
And a place where dreams are made.
This is
the Girls Development Academy.
This Wolves side looking for a way to claw themselves back into this match, trailing 3-0 at halftime. Due to 3 really nice finishes from the Columbus Crew, but got to give credit to Wolves. They've played very well in this first half, moved the ball around well, liked their pressure. Was the Crew who've been most clinical in front of goal, done well to take their chances and score them, first through Hughes in the 18th, Parente in the 40th, and then just 2 minutes later, Wang put the exclamation point on an excellent half for the Columbus Crew. But this is a Wolves side that knows something about scoring goals. They had 68 at the 17-18 level last year, tied for 4th best in the DA. Well, it's a Wolves side as well that's not used to giving up as many goals as they had. Top defense last year in both the 15-16 and 17-18 level have run into a Crew side that has been so strong going forward. It's Parente, who has 2 goals already this season, will kick us off for the final 45 minutes. And Parente wins the header over Daniel. 2 substitutions were made by Wolves at halftime, and we'll get you those numbers as we get through them. And Matatu is down. Hope that he's all right. He, along with teammate Jack Beck, have both committed to Michigan State. And Matatu being helped up as we'll take a look and see what happened here. Going in and doing a good job to win the ball. Notice how he got that on the foot furthest away from Lukosku, forcing him into the foul. And getting forward is Bender. Matatu. Oh, it's good skill from Matatu. And couldn't wrap his foot around the ball to get it to curl toward the back post. But that is much better and much more direct from Wolves to start this second half. So Jack Beck and Lachlan Hepburn have both left at halftime. Will Perkins, the number 4, comes in, as does Vincent Jackson, who's wearing number 38. Jackson playing in his first game for Wolves since joining from Vardar. It's the ball to the back post. It almost snuck in. Parente pulls it back to the top of the box for Rivas. Rivas brings it down, and he'll get it back out wide. This is Bolger. A bit too far this time. Parente unable to keep it in, and it'll be a goal kick. Good work from Louis Bolger. Both he and Thiesing on the other side have done a great job under the directive of Ben Cross to get forward, as he and the entire coaching staff from Greg Berhalter all the way on down want their fullbacks to do. Talked about it at the beginning. When they build out of the back, they want their fullbacks to get high, their center backs to split and take the space that is vacated by the fullbacks, and their number 6 to come back in the middle to receive the ball. And Ben Cross said, you know, it's a bit of a dangerous style, but it's a really good style because it forces our players to be very technically sound. They have to be brave, and they have to make quick decisions, and that's what that style teaches. If you can handle that style, you can really handle anything. Well, so far they have to do with a Wolves side that has come out really fast in the second half. As Keita will smash it out and will be a throw-in for Wolves. Three goal scorers for the Crew. They're on the back foot here as this one sneaks all the way through the box. And safety first as the Crew just smack it clear. So they'll regather their shape, and the Wolves will reset their runs in the 49th minute as they look to go forward again. They've been the brighter team inside the first 3.5 minutes of this second half. And this is Chapman. And gets it back to his keeper, Finnerty. He's made some excellent saves. Long looking for Matatu. Bendert. Dispossessed by Rivas. What skill from Rivas. Able to get it through the legs of Bendert. And Bendert said, I don't care if I'm going to get a foul. The ball can pass me or you can pass me, but not both. Love to see a replay of that. More beautiful skill from the Florida man. Can see why he's been getting looks from the national team, Rivas. As he comes inside here, allows Bolger to overtake on the outside. He'll come inside, and he tries to find Parente. Great job by Jackson to get back and win the ball. The former Vardar man gets it forward to Matatu. Matatu working against 2 Columbus Crew players, and he'll leave it off for Jackson. Jackson looking for options. Lovely interchange with Giuliano Daniel. He tried to slide it inside for Nam, but it was finally snuffed out by the Crew. And the bench loving the high pressure from the Wolves to force that ball out of bounds for a throw-in. As here's that skill from Rivas. Just look at that for a piece of invention. Daniel. A good job by Luis Sala to get it back. And now they can start their attack again. The Crew overtake, and the counterattack could be on here. It's Wang. Chapman's watching him. 2 Crew players join him. Still going Wang, and that was a good tackle. And now it's the Crew who will reset. Early cross played in. It's catching practice for Finnerty. Finnerty comes to the extreme of his penalty area and then stopped. He wasn't happy with the fact that his Wolves players weren't higher up the field. And put it down before the 6 seconds. And we'll float it towards Matatu. Header won by Bolger. And this is Zawadzki. Lukasco. Lukasco really pulling all the strings in midfield. Him and Parente always seem to pick out the right pass. And they have here, and brought down was the attacker on the far side. And it'll be a free kick from a very dangerous position for the Crew as they look for their 4th goal of this game. It's excellent work from the outside back Thiesing, getting forward once again. No, correction, it was Lukascu who was brought down. Five players lined up across the top of the box for Crew, getting ready to crash this free kick. It's an outswinger to the back post. Parente's there, goes beyond him. Bolger got his head on it, claims it's a corner, and the assistant referee agrees with him. 3rd corner kick of the game for the Crew. First of this second half. It was a great ball sent in. And then Bolger hitting that off the back of Bendert. And Parker Bendert doing a good job to get in the way. Corner kick sent to the near post, doesn't beat the first defender. Puck backed in and cleared out. Matatu does well to bring it under control. Feeds it on for Broche. Tried to play it for Nam, making the run down the far side. And Matatu lets it fall out for a throw-in. Lukasco stepped in to win that back for the Crew. Kowalczyk under pressure from his former teammates. And it's won back in midfield by Chapman. Slip through for Daniel. Is now playing in more of a defensive midfielder role. The role he filled for the injured Mark Fisher last season. This wasn't a bad ball sent in by Chapman. Just needs those players making those runs toward the back post. Saw what happened when they are made by Isaiah Parente, who scored on a back post ball from Biros. There's been a couple times that Wolves have played that ball to the back post, but there's been nobody making that run. It's Parente going forward. Doesn't really have many options trying to pull it back. but he's swarmed by 3 Wolves players who contrived to win it back for the visitors. Oh, that's a great ball into the path of Matatu. Able to feed it forward. Flag stays down. Nam can't get by Abubakar Keita, who came across. Matatu pulls one back for the Wolves. Crew were able to clear the first ball, but not the second. And Matatu was buzzing in the box. And it was a beautiful finish from the future Spartan. Nam played that ball in. Both center backs were there, failed to clear it. And it was Matatu jumped right in between them and got that ball, touched it forward to set himself up. And he said that every time he kisses his hand and points it toward the sky, he's thinking about his parents. So more love for them. It was a great move. It was started by Matatu and finished by Matatu. Into the side netting, perfectly placed. A goal celebrated from the Wolves fans in Ohio, back to Michigan, and all the way across the seas to Zimbabwe. And Wolves are back in it. It's 3-1. And Rivas whistled for the foul. One thing Ben Cross said about his Crew side is that they're such a great side when things are going well, but sometimes when things aren't going their way, tend to break down a little bit. He said this is a side that he doesn't mind some adversity at the beginning of the season because he wants to see them really come together, support each other, get control of their emotions, and manage the situation. And we'll see how they do that here. As it's been Wolves who've been the brighter of the two sides in the first 11 minutes of this second half, and they have their goal to show for it. Louis Sala. Sala continued his run. Clips it back across. And Keegan Hughes is there. Cleared away by his center back partner. And Kowalczyk just yelling at his team to settle down, keep positive. It's this throw to be taken by William Perkins. Another player who played on loan with the Crew last season in the GA Cup. One back by Parente, but a heavy touch. Sala overtakes. Did a good job to put his foot on the ball to evade the first challenge. Got in the middle. Dangerous spot for Matatu, but well stationed was Louis Bolger, and he'll clear it to safety. Louis Sala, who's coming over to take this throw in. He's been with Wolves Club for 3 years, but this is his first year in the Development Academy. And Scott Dahl saying that they expect him to make an impact right away. And he certainly has. As says this man. That's a good ball in. Chapman. Well, Wolves have certainly made the adjustments at halftime. Whatever Scott Dahl said to his side, it's working. Now they just need to make sure that they don't get caught on the break. This is such a dangerous Crew side going forward. Bolger's all alone screaming for this ball on the near side. And instead, it's pinged around in the center circle. Well, they do such a good job of playing their way out of pressure, the Crew. Good hold-up play from Wang. This is fine from the Crew. Just settle it down, get some touches on the ball, possess it, get your confidence back, try and open things up, and Rivas gives it away. A great job by Sean Zawatsky to win it back. Make sure that Wolves couldn't set off on the counter. And Rivas atones for his mistake. Lukasku. Daniel won it back. Brosh overtakes, running at Keita. Brosh can't get by Keita. That's good one-on-one defending right at the top of the box. Bolger. Quickly closed down by Matatu, and the goal scorer almost won it back. So here's another look. Just look at the way he stays square and then doesn't let Brosh get across him. A bit of a late challenge on the far side from Brios. Good advantage played from the referee. Brios still battling. Had 8 goals last season, Brios. Today, it's his passing that has really delighted in this match. Has the assist on the second goal. It's Mutatu. Looking to turn provider here. Bender to the far post. And once again, it was lacking the player making that run to the back stick to put the ball away for Wolves. This game could very easily be 3-3. Matatu's been sensational. This time left it off for Bender. Not sure if it was his intention to drag it across. I think he might have been trying to shoot it. In the end, it was a great ball, and all it required was a touch. There's nobody on hand to put that home for the Wolves, and it remains 3-1 in favor of the Crew, but the Wolves continue to knock on the door and look the more likely side to get the game's next goal. Good work from Brosh. Heavy but a fair challenge from Thiesing, and the ball stays in. And just no space on that far side, and here come the Crew. Oh, lovely skill. And still Wayne goes. Outside for Rivas. Gets the overlap from Bolger. He pings it across. And off of Simon for a corner kick. Oh, Rivas just so dangerous running at players. And like eyes in the back of his head. So he looked like he was going to cut inside even further, and then at the last second spun out and got that for Bolger. And it was a great one-time cross that led to this corner kick. Well, they've already scored off one corner. Looking to do it again here, but this time it's well defended by Parker Bender. Looking for the quick outlet, but Keita's there. Chapman. Long searching ball looking for Matatu. And Bolger snuffs out the danger. Daniel. Sawatsky. Wang. Sawatsky. Over the top for Rivas. Just unable to track it down. Chapman beats Parente to the punch, but a heavy touch out of bounds. And it's going to be the 5th corner kick of the game for the home side. Biros and Thiesing coming over to take it. Keegan Hughes, who scored the game's opening goal off a corner kick, has made his way up from his center back position. As well taken by Finnerty. Quickly rolled out. I think Wayne Suk is struggling a bit as he's gone back to play defense. Well, now he's coming forward. Perhaps was just covering for Hughes on that corner kick. Still does look to be limping a bit, Wang. Number 9, just at the bottom of your picture. Nice turn from Sala. Clip from Matatu. Lovely skill to bring it down. Gets inside for Bender. Bender continuing to get forward to menacing effect. In the end, just a goal kick. But he's been combining well with Matatu, Bender. Almost created another dangerous situation. And now Wang is being replaced as the Crew flick the switch on their first substitution of the afternoon. So Wang, who scored the Crew's third goal in the 42nd minute, comes off, and he's replaced by David Rona, a 16-year-old in his first season in the academy, or his first year, I should say, second season. So he will play as the number 9 in place of Wang. Rivas. Parente. One back by Bolger. And fouled by Matatu. Matatu has to be careful. He's on a yellow card, which he received back in the 16th minute. The referee just went over to him and said, "You're on a card. You've got to be smart." As you could see him sticking out the foot there. Did win the ball. Some, especially the Wolves' persuasion, would say that was a clean challenge. Anytime you stick your foot out like that and you do show studs, the referee is inclined to blow his whistle. Broche gets it back from Nam. Dispossessed by Keita. And Keita bulldozing his way through to win that ball back and get it out of the danger area for the Crew. Well, he just always seems relaxed, Abubakar Keita. This is Hughes. Bolger will get it back to his keeper. Biros is committed to Akron. Still going Biros. Bolger witnessing the space on the near side. Pings it across. Oh, what a goal that would have been. Oh, the offside flag was up. Arona almost scoring with his first touch. And it would have been a sensational flick. That's another excellent cross from Bolger. There you could see Rona going for the stylish finish. It was well defended by Finnerty. Another good save made by the keeper that he won't get credit for because the flag was up. Bender will take the throne for Wolves in the 68th minute. After this, Wolves are home for 3 state games, starting with Shattuck St. Mary's next weekend. And then play the Minnesota Thunder and the Chicago Fire before going on the road for their next 4 matches after that. So Rivas gets it to Zawadzki. Lukasco. Biros back to Lukasco. Lukasco, Zawadzki, and Parente all come from the Cleveland area. So we'd said before, that's over 2 hours away, there and back. As that ball looking for Biros, making the run into the channel, but coming across is Seth Chapman. However, it's another corner kick for the Columbus Crew. Their 4th of the second half. Biros and Thiesling in their normal position over the ball. It looks like it is going to be Thiesling to send it in. And the keeper punched, not decisively, but he's able to grab it at the second time of asking and quickly thrown out for Jackson. Vincent Jackson has Mutatu on this near side. Instead, he's going to hold it up and wait for the cavalry to arrive. Giveaway in midfield, and the space is opened up. Biros waiting for the run of Rivas. Slides it into Rivas. Rivas! What a save! Goal that would have restored the 3-goal lead for the Columbus Crew. But standing tall was Finnerty. As Rivas did well to get his hips around it. Finnerty in good position, had to apply gloves. Fifth corner kick of the second half for the Crew. And 3 Crew players are warming up too. Just behind Biros, rather, who's going to take this corner. So instead of an in-swinger, it's going to be an out-swinger this time from Colin Biros. Biros will do it again. So Ben Cross getting set to make 3 more changes. Biros' corner. This one much further away from the keeper. It wasn't a bad idea for Parente, but he didn't get over it. Nothing to concern Owen Finnerty in the end. This was popped up into the air by Finnerty. Did a good job to stay with it and get there before Zawatsky. And then there's that opportunity from Rivas. And well, it looked like he was on a spring there, Owen Finnerty. It was during those replays, Crew SC Academy Wolves made another change. It was Adam Nam coming off.
Substitution for Crew SC Academy Wolves in the 72nd minute. Coming off the field is number 10, Aiden Nam. To be replaced by number 28, Charlie Trevasian.
So Aiden Nam is off. Coming on for him is Charlie Trevasian wearing the number 28. Trevasian in his second year in the DA with Wolves. Let's see if he can provide a spark. 1 goal would set up a really nervy finale here for the Crew. And Keita will shield that one out for a goal kick. And here comes the triple substitution for the Crew. So Max Thiesting's going to come out, as is Louis Bolger. So both fullback stays will be done. And Jose Rivas will come off as well. Elijah Borneo comes in. Braden Durbin and Griffin DeBolt. Elijah Borneo, born in Morgantown, West Virginia, in his second year in the DA with Crew, is committed to Kentucky. Griffin DeBolt committed to Butler, another one of these Crew players that has trained with the first team. And Braden Durbin in his third year in the Development Academy for the Crew as well. So 3 new players on for the Crew to try and close out this game as they have the 3-1 lead in the 74th minute. And it's been Wolves who've been the better side in this second half, though. Daniel loses out. Parente, forward for Rona. One of 4 subs out there for the Columbus Crew. That's a great ball threaded through. And Borneo unable to get it around the keeper. Great job coming off his line by Owen Finnerty. And perfect distribution as well. Coming to Matatu. Zawadzki got over quickly. Matatu able to get by him. And he's able to get by Hughes as well. Great tracking back by Zawadzki. Still going somehow is Matatu. And finally, the Crew are able to get it clear through to Bolt. Only as far as Bender. Off to Sala. Back out wide to Daniel. First touch lets him down, and now he has the battle for it. And Borneo finally able to win it back for the Columbus Crew. This is Parente. Well, Sala didn't agree, but he'll be whistled for the foul. It's lovely skill from Parente. Great job flicking it over the incoming foot of Luis Sala, going over his thigh, and that's why he was able to win that free kick. And the fresh legs of Borneo catching up to that ball. Not the cross he wanted, as that went out before it came back in, so it'll be a goal kick for Wolves. Inside the final 15 minutes of regulation. And there's a Wolves player struggling right at the top of the box. Referee Nate Haggerty going to come over and check on him. Looks like he's going to be okay. That's Luis Sala. Well, the referee is making the international sign for a change. So it looks like Sala's day is going to end in the 77th minute, but you can understand why Scott Dahl and Lars Richter rate him so highly. Sala coming through the Wolves club system and now joining the Development Academy, and looks to slide it really comfortably into that midfield. It's a chance for both teams to get water and catch their breath for what is surely going to be a ferocious 13-plus minutes. And so Sala steps off, was asking for a change. And so Sala will be replaced by Alfredo Vivar. Vivar in his second year with Wolves in the Development Academy. Lukasco. Into the middle for Zawadzki. He's beaten to it by Daniel. This is Rona. Good hold-up play from the number 9. And slides it through for Biros to chase. Well defended by Perkins on the far side. Perkins spins away from him. He carried it a bit too long. Rona has a go well wide of the near post. Ben Cross just asking for calm from David Rona. Cross came over 18 months ago from Empire United, an academy in upstate New York, but he was also working for the last 10 years as a science teacher. And in watching the Crew train, you can really see that teaching background in him and the way he talks to his players and asks them questions. And he said he tries to bring that classroom mentality to the field to make it a really player-centric approach. Borneo helps it on for Parente. Slides it inside. Lovely drop of the hip from Biros. He could be in here. Biros gets by Chapman. It's Biros. Great patience. But in the end, thwarted by Finnerty, who's been immense in goal for the Wolves this afternoon. Oh, Biros has been so impressive. If you are a fan of the Akron Zips, you are just licking your lips watching this, knowing that Biros is coming to your program. Here he is, causing trouble again. Borneo's ventured forward, and he's done a good job to get into those positions, but his 2 crosses so far haven't been of the quality that he desires. As Borneo got forward a 3rd time, and it's just really good goalkeeping to read that and come off his line and get there before Borneo could push it by him. And then there was Biros setting himself up for that shot. Standing tall in goal once again was Owen Finnerty. As Parker Bendert's day is done. And he is replaced by Quinn Franchino. Franchino in his 3rd year in the academy after 3 years in the Wolves club. On the club level, it's Wolves Hawks. Wolves on the men's side, Hawks on the women's side. And through their academy and their clubs, at one point last year, they had 14 national team players across the youth and senior levels, and then 134 players playing in college. That's just the kind of number that the Wolves Hawks clubs and academy have churned out. It's been going on for many, many years, as Scott Dahl even said. And he said, you know, the funny thing is, I'm working for Lars Richter. I once played for him. Wolves have numbers. And the far side, tremendous defending once again from Abubakar Keita. Broche coming over to take the corner kick. Oh, it's whipped in just over the crossbar. There's Keita getting the foot in. Did so well to match Broche stride for stride. 82nd minute. Crew raced out to a 3-0 lead inside the first 42 minutes. Matatu has responded with 1 for Wolves here in the second half, but the Crew has since held on. It's even created some chances of their own. Oh, Borneo's wide open on this far side. Instead, Biros wants to try and see if he could smuggle it through, but Parente was offside, so he let it go to Finnerty, and Finnerty will start the attack the other way for Wolves. I was asking a lot of Broche, and it's overtaken by Lukasku. Parente. Oh, those three in the middle, Parente, Lukasku, and Zawadzki, just so strong. Jackson in a foot race with Kowalczyk, who gets there first. Borneo in a battle with Franchino. And it went off of Borneo last. Jackson tried to touch it on for Daniel. And this time it's off of Jackson last. As there was that battle between Borneo and Francho. And Franchino just unable to get into it in time. A lovely skill. How many times have I said that today? Their technique so impressive on both sides of the ball. Their positional and tactical understanding as well. So this time, Biros is onside. Perkins gets back, squares up to Biros, leaves it off for Parente. Last-ditch defending, leading to another corner kick for the Columbus Crew. It is their 9th of the game as they look to close this one out. And they almost did in style through Isaiah Parente, who already has 2 goals in the first 2 games this season, including today. We already talked about the fact that Parente finished first in the, I'll get back to that as the corner kick being taken, bypasses everyone. And DeBolt chases it down. And DeBolt is committed to Butler, will win the throw-in. Be taken by Braden Durbin. Exchange of passes with DeBolt. Now Durbin wants to see if he can get a cross-off. And instead, he'll get the game's 10th corner kick. But getting back to Parente, for the 15-16 level, he was number 1 for midfielders in the Ortex stats. Well, number 3 was Zawadzki. Over at the U18 level, Lukascu was in the top 10 at number 9. It just goes to show the kind of impact they're having not only on the games of their team, but in the whole academy as well. So this one headed away by the first defender. More stellar skill from Parente. Daniel steps in. Zawadzki forward. That'll be a throw-in for Giuliano Daniel. Will be joining a service academy in Air Force, Giuliano Daniel. Matatu. And Matatu is just one of those players that you have to give a free roll, because he'll create no matter where he is on the field, and he's going to want to move from side to side and be around that ball as much as possible. Chapman gets it out wide. Simon perfectly weighted down the line for Jackson, but it's good defending from Durbin. Zawadzki took control. Well, Ben Cross, less than 3 minutes plus stoppage time of going 2-0 on the day as his U15s won against Wolves earlier. Scoreline of 5-1. It's holding on to a 3-1 scoreline here, but if Wolves do get that second goal, it would set up a very interesting final few minutes. More exceptional defending from Abubakar Keita. And you can understand if he's knackered. He's still able to have a smile on his face. Just look. No foul, doesn't stick his feet in, just waits till the absolute right moment, and then able to shield Jackson off the ball. Keita has been excellent today. Has made so many important interventions. Biros is it again, can't get by Chapman, and it's swept away by Franchino. Zawadzki gets to the end line. He'll pull it back. Has Parente in support. They can't get past the double team. Heading into the final minute of regulation. And it looks like the Crew are going to get their first win of the season, improved to 1-0-1 on the year, while Wolves will fall to 0-1. Both teams with home matches next Saturday. Chicago Fire for the Crew. Shattuck St. Mary's for the Wolves. This is a nice short quarter routine. Parente steps inside, plays it across. Nobody able to latch on the end of it. And Crew doing an excellent job to get back and get numbers behind the ball. Not allowing Wolves to spring a counterattack. Final 30 seconds of regulation. Keda heads it away. Hughes was able to set a foot in and stab it out of bounds. So we've hit stoppage time. Now just waiting to hear from the fourth official how much longer we will be playing for. Matatu just trying to create a half yard of space. Able to get at the top of the box. That was flicked on, chasing it is Broche, but it's swept away. Will be a corner kick for the visitors. Three minutes of stoppage time, about 30 seconds have elapsed. Broche's corner, a bit deep, and a smart flicked header away from Braden Durbin. Rona doing a great job of defending from the front, and Durbin getting out of the box quickly to get up there and keep the ball in the midfield rather than allowing Wolves to just come right back into the box. DeBolt heads it clear. Touch forward for Rona. Trying to thread it through, but it was well intercepted by Franchino. Otherwise, Parente would have been one-on-one against Finnerty. Parente. Borneo jumps into the attack. He's being invited to take the space. Instead, he tried to play it through for Rona, and it will go all the way to the keeper. Rolled out to the far side for Jackson. Correction, Perkins has Jackson running ahead of him and tried to find him down the line. Biros brought down, and more time will run off this clock. So we are creeping closer and closer to referee Nate Haggerty's final whistle. And now it's just all about keeping emotions in check. Plenty more games to come this season. 20 games in the Mid-America Division in the regular season. Plus the winter, spring, and summer showcases as well. Parente eluding players at will. Borneo offside. Wolves are still pressing, still looking for that second goal, especially this man Matatu. He's able to keep it in. And Hughes is there before Matatu. And anywhere will do at the moment as Crew trying to close out this game. Andrew Simon's going to come over and take this. The 17-year-old has a really long throw, so he can get this one into the box. That is a good throw. As well dealt with. And that will do it. Rona looking back at the ref saying I had a clear path to goal, but in the end, his Crew side will come away with a 3-1 victory, doing all the damage in the first half. First, it was that man, Keegan Hughes, with a header in the 18th minute off of a corner kick. And then in the 40th, Parente stepped up, and he slid home the second goal of the game and his second of the season. And then just 2 minutes later, Wang Un Suk would get the ball in the box and he would smash home the game's third goal. Wolves did come back stronger in the second half, and they found a reply through Matatu, but it wasn't enough, as it's the Crew who pick up all 3 points. So Crew SC Academy improves to 1-0-1 on the season, while Wolves fall to 0-1 on the year. Thank you so much for joining us. For everyone at the Development Academy, for Andy Sivchek at U.S. Soccer, and Scott and everyone at Turbo Sports, I'm Mark Serber saying good afternoon from Columbus, Ohio, where it finishes Crew SC Academy 3, Crew SC Academy Wolves 1.
Instagram and Snapchat at US Soccer _ACH.